Welcome to NFL. Here's your host, Dames Marvs.
Billie Jean, thank you for the kind introduction. I've got with me Frankie J and Ben Shrewsbury. Ben, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm remembering I have to watch J.J. McCarthy on Sunday and dying inside.
Dying a little bit inside. All right, well, there's
A
plenty
little?
for that tonight. We've got to recap Week 6, and then we're on to Week 7. Can you believe it? Week 7's already upon us. Before we get to the games, there's a couple things I want to talk about around the league. First one is the Tennessee Titans have fired Brian Callahan. Ben, I know you think he should have been let go a year ago, but I'll let you go ahead and expound upon that.
Why, if they were going to do it this quickly, and you're drafting a quarterback at 1, and don't tell me they didn't know that when they got the number 1 pick last year that they were going to take the quarterback. If they didn't know that, they're more dysfunctional than I thought. 2, if you're going to fire a head coach mid-season with a rookie quarterback, do you know how bad things have to be? And as Mike Florio and Big Cat from Barstool always say, dysfunctional organizations do dysfunctional things. This is right up the Titans' alley. I'm not surprised. It should have been gone a year ago. But
Are you a fan of this firing or no?
Yes, because it should have happened a year ago, but I don't know why they let him get this far if they were going to draft a quarterback. That just if you're going to draft a quarterback, you want some form of consistency in terms of who's running things. This is terrible.
All right, Frankie J, do you have any thoughts on this before I ask you a different question? Go ahead.
Real quickly to what Ben's saying, we're 6 weeks in. They drafted Cam Ward this year, so they decided pretty quickly there, if you ask me, a third of the way through the season, this isn't our coach for this guy. So, if anything, I think that it was a valid firing, and it was done quick enough to where they might be able to get their record up a little bit, maybe even make a playoff run at this point. Who knows? I don't know. This league is so tossed upside down right now. So, anyways, what's your question?
When did they fire, before I get there, when did they fire Vrabel?
It was right at the end of the year 2 years ago.
So this is Callahan's second season?
Would have been, yeah.
See, I feel like if you hire a coach and then you go on to have the first pick of the draft, what are you doing? Are you not going through the interview process? To turn an NFL franchise around that was in this much disarray, and let's be honest, they did nobody any favors by picking Will Levis and putting him out there. And they're gonna scapegoat somebody. And to me, it's the coach. You need 3 years. If you've got a team in complete disarray, do the process and find somebody that you know you can have confidence in for 3 years. And honestly, when they went from Vrabel to Callahan, I was kind of like, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. And then they do this. Are they going to get it right? Or are they going to constantly be ending up picking in this top 5 picks in the draft? Anyway, Frankie, my question to you is, and then I'll ask the same of Ben. Looking around the league, since you guys are fire happy, who else do you see as potentially being on the hot seat, and why?
I'm actually not fire happy. In fact, I put a post up on my Facebook today, pretty much challenging most wannabe Bills fans for being fans only when things are good, and then when we have a bad game, they want to fire the entire staff and blow up the stadium. If I was to put any coach on the hot seat right now, obviously we don't have. This isn't a secret, but Miami, for him to still be there is very questionable to me. The Jets, well, they're going to keep him at least for the season. I don't see him getting fired, but true hot seat, Mike McDaniel for sure. I mean, not to mention his quarterback tossed him under the bus and the team's falling apart in the locker room. But yeah, Mike McDaniel would be my one and only hot seat really at this point. I don't see any other coach in the league that at this point in the season, Dames or Ben, should be on the hot seat yet. There's some teams that are rebuilding that we all know about, and there's some teams that are not as horrible as it needs to be to fire the coach. And that's just my opinion.
Ben, do you see any other glaring teams that need to make a change?
I agree with Frankie completely on the teams that need to make a move. McDaniel probably shouldn't have gotten this season. I'm kind of surprised they gave it to him a little bit. The people out there saying, oh, Buffalo needs to fire their guy, or I saw somebody today say that Chicago should consider letting Ben Johnson go. And it's like, they just won, first of all. They just beat Washington, first of all. Second of all, they weren't, even if they were winless right now, they're not firing Ben Johnson. So, yeah, like Frankie said, there's really only 2 or 3 teams right now that need to make a move. As for teams I could see making a move, Cleveland, if it gets any worse. Cincinnati, certainly. Maybe they think about it after the year with Zach Taylor, but other than what Frankie said with Miami, and no, honestly.
Yeah, I can't imagine Chicago making another change in the next 2 years. I mean, even 2 years. Like, what are you doing at that point? All right. So, sticking with the coaches just for a minute here, who's your guys' early candidate for Coach of the Year? I'm going to start with you, Ben.
This is going to sound insane because their record, maybe doesn't tell you this guy's going to get Coach of the Year. But with all the injuries they're dealing with, how is it not Kyle Shanahan? Just on, what he's gotten out of what he has right now alone. And I'm not a Shanahan guy at all, but the fact that they've won this many games for as beat up as they've been all year, and now Fred Warner's gone for the year, the fact he's gotten this much out of this team deserves something, because this is crazy.
All right, Frankie, same question to you.
Can you rephrase the question, please?
Yeah, early on, we're 6 weeks through now, and rather than looking at firing coaches, I'm looking at lifting them up. Who's your early pick for Coach of the Year so far?
Jeez. That's a really hard one, really. If you want to get technical, I would say San Francisco. As much as people want to throw him under the bus, I mean, he's keeping things together despite the memes of wheelchairs coming out as their players on Sunday.
All right, so we got 2 for San Francisco. Well, I guess we'll just keep tabs on it and see how it goes moving forward. All right, we had a trade last week where Joe Flacco went from Cleveland over to Cincinnati, and apparently Mike Tomlin has an issue with it. Frankie, what's your say on that?
Oh, God, I've been dying to talk about this. Mike Tomlin, I said this before we went live tonight. I had a lot of respect for you, Mike Tomlin. I still do. You're a Hall of Fame coach. You've been, I think you're the second longest tenured coach, or the first longest tenured coach in the league right now. Never had a losing season. Very respectable coach. You have a Super Bowl under your belt. And you have to go out and bitch and complain because Joe Flacco was traded from the Browns to the Bengals. And you had a, joking or not, in the way you said it, you made a poke at the general manager of the Cleveland Browns for making that trade. Why do you care? And what is it any of his business? It's the Browns are 1-5. They're trading to make trades right now to get draft picks. What's the problem? Why does he care? He's got his guy. He's got Aaron Rodgers. He could have easily grabbed Joe Flacco, before the season started. So what's his problem with it? That's my question. What is Mike Tomlin's problem?
Before I let Ben respond, I'm going to tell you what I think. He's fucking playing Cincinnati this week. He would way rather play Browning than Flacco. Ben, thoughts?
Again, of what I saw of the clip, it sounded like the reporter asked him kind of a leading question going into this. But I don't really think it's a story. Tomlin says whatever he wants all the time. He's kind of quote unquote earned that right at this point. He's been around forever. This guy's going to say whatever he wants. They're not going to fire him. They're not even going to fine him for saying that. So I get why he made fun of Andrew Berry. I make fun of Andrew Berry all the time. Do I think Tomlin should be doing it? No, probably not. But do I get why he did it? Yeah.
That's fair. So we'll see what happens on that Thursday night game. Thank you guys for that little bit of dialogue. I only saw one major injury that I want to talk about, and that's the Rams. Puka Nacua hurt his knee or his ankle. I think it was his ankle. And I thought it looked a lot worse than what they're saying. Apparently he's going to miss time, but he's day-to-day. So that may mean that he's not going to miss any time. And I'll go ahead, Frankie.
And don't forget San Francisco's linebacker, Fred Warner, went out for the year.
That's right. Did you have any thoughts on Puka before we move on to Fred Warner?
They say it's week to week. He's young enough. I think he'll heal up pretty quickly. I think you'll see him in no more than 2 weeks. I think he might be back after a week off.
Yeah, Fred Warner's a big one. Team that's already kind of banged up. Doesn't hurt my feelings any, but we'll see how Coach of the Year Shanahan God, Shanahan, one of the hands.
Speaking of Brian Callahan,
go ahead.
Have you guys ever seen this guy's head coaching record?
I thought we should have probably talked about that when he got fired.
He was 4-19 for 2 years. How are you that? I don't care how bad the Titans are. They should have been able to luck their way into 6 wins over 2 years.
Fair point. All right, that's really the only things I had other than the same old shit that we always bitch about, which are games in overseas and then double Monday night games, which we have again this week.
When do those stop, by the way? I thought that was only supposed to be the first week of a season, and now it's turning into a regular thing. Or am I just lost in reality?
I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand about it. One game starts an hour after the other games, therefore you can't watch both games. So I thought the point of primetime game is so that everybody could watch that team. And now they're loading up the box to where we have to watch or try and watch two. What if both games are really good? Like last night, I kind of would have liked to watch both games, but guess what? I watched the Bears-Washington game, at least after the first hour when, well, unfortunately, we saw what happened. We'll get to it. Anyway, none of the three of us are fans of that double Monday night game. It's a cool idea, but if you're going to do it, like, really dive into it and start the games at 5 o'clock Central Time and make them so that they go back to back instead of at the same time.
Consecutively and not together.
I'd rather stay up late and get a full night of football in than have to choose. Because I
would just rather they just do one Monday night game. I'm not staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning to watch 2 Monday night games. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I will, but I get what you're saying. A lot of people won't, but I certainly will, and I would certainly prefer if they're gonna do 2 that I could watch both of them. All right, guys, let's talk about week 6. Let's talk about 6, baby. Let's talk about Frankie. All right, guys, this was a crazy week. All right, I missed 3 games this week. I was 12-3 on the week, and I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, but I was 12-3 because I didn't pick the Giants to beat Philadelphia, I didn't pick the Chiefs to beat Detroit, and I didn't pick Atlanta to beat Buffalo. In what world do those 3 things all not happen in the same week? I would have had a perfect score otherwise. Frankie, you were 10-5. Ben, you were 8-7. For the overall records, I'm 53-24. Frankie, you are 43-34, and Ben, you are 1 game better at 44-33. we're all 10 games over 500 at least. So that's
Sheesh.
you can stick with us enough that we're full of absolute shit, even though we might be sometimes. All right, let's get to what happened on the Thursday night game. Thursday night, Philadelphia waltzes into New York. Jackson Dart getting his third start. Now remember, the first week he beat the Chargers. The second week he lost to Spencer Rattler in New Orleans. And then he goes on this weird bender and beats Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions. Ben, how did this happen?
Philadelphia continues to boggle the mind because they went from a really good team that was just really boring to watch to now they're just boring to watch. They don't even look like a good team right now. Like, the Giants, A, were more entertaining than them on Thursday night. I don't think anybody will disagree with me on that. And B, at a certain point of the game, looked like a lot better team. Which is crazy for me to say, especially when you look at the records. Do I think the Eagles will finish with a better record than the Giants? Yes, they will. But they're not going to look good doing it, and this game was kind of proof of that.
Right. Frankie, first of all, how did this happen? And secondly, what's the ceiling for the Giants without Malik Neighbors?
I think you saw the ceiling without Malik Neighbors. I think they just had a week where they were on. You had Scatapoop doing his thing. It's not going to last. It was one of those fluke weeks, just like the Bills losing 2 in a row was a fluke. Philadelphia does not look beautiful this year. They haven't since week 1. I think they were just having one of those games where they just couldn't get things going, and the Giants exploited it. So I think a lot of it had to do with luck, truthfully. That's
Yeah, if you're a Giants fan, you're looking at your draft this last year, and you're going nuts at this point because you came into this season, unless you're Jazz, who picked them to be 17-0, knowing that they're going to be the butt of the NFC. And quite frankly, after 2-3 weeks of Russell Wilson, they're back on track. And I don't know that it's all Jackson Dart. He certainly looks great at times, but between him and Scatterbo, they're doing enough now for this Giants fan base to be able to take the bag off their head for once. So
they're not making the playoffs.
No, that's playoffs. Let's not talk about playoffs. Not in week 7.
I start talking about the playoffs in week 1.
Well, we should be, but not with the fucking Giants. All right. So we have another shitty football team in New York.
New Jersey.
They weren't in New York. It was a New York Jets home game, but it was in London town at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time against the Denver Broncos, who have been arguably way better than a lot of people thought that they were going to be. And then they won this one 13-11. Ben, I know you probably weren't up watching this game.
No.
But is the Jets defense good enough to win them a game at some point?
Yes, the Jets defense will win them a game at a certain point. And I actually think the Broncos are underperforming my expectations right now. I thought they were going to be the best team in the division this year. They are not that. So we'll see.
All right, Frankie, did you watch any of this game?
Yeah, I did. I watched it pretty much from the start. They're sitting tied with the Chargers at the top of the AFC West right now, so they're not.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are right there. And we'll talk about that Chiefs game, but the Chiefs aren't going to stay down.
Okay.
Kind of not what we thought earlier, but of course, this show is an amalgamation of regret and bad choices that we can correct from week to week. So that's what we'll do. I think all three of us picked Denver, and they did sneak it out, 13-11, as I said. If you're in London and you're paying money for that game, I don't know that you got the best product that we have to offer. I'll just say that.
I think you should speak with a financial advisor if you live in London and paid to go to this. You should speak with a financial advisor pronto.
That's fair. All right. Then we had the regular slate of games starting on Sunday at noon Central Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and of course 1 o'clock Eastern, where you had the Rams going to Baltimore. And we knew that Baltimore was banged up. And we got an absolute stinker, really, from both teams. Like I said, Puka Nacua got hurt. Frankie, how long is Baltimore going to be down and out? Are they out of playoff contention talk and or Super Bowl, or can they get?
They're out of Super Bowl talk for sure. At this point, it all depends if Lamar wants to put his big boy pants back on and get in there and be a leader and stop playing with the I have a hamstring injury. Cooper Rush, sorry, buddy. You were a good backup for Dallas. You created a little bit of excitement while you were there, while Dak was, I think, healing from a broken finger at the time. In any event, I just think Baltimore's done for the year. I don't see them recovering from the mess that lies within that organization right now. I there was high hopes for them from week one of the season. The Bills took that hope away from them, and then they just declined after that. So I don't see too much coming from them. I could be wrong, but that's my thoughts.
Sure. Well, in a league of parity, Ben,
There's no parity. What are you talking about?
dude, how can you say there's no parity when we just watched the Giants beat Philly? We just watched Atlanta beat Buffalo. Buffalo's lost 2 weeks in a row to inferior teams. And you're telling me, okay, tell me a team that right now can not beat one of the other teams. Tell me someone that's going to dominate everything.
The Jets could not beat the Chiefs. I'm telling you.
I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true.
The Titans could not beat who else we got here?
I don't know that that's true.
Seattle.
Every team has a win so far.
The Jets do not.
Oh, except for the Jets. But you just said the Jets are going to win the game because of their defense. So you can't use them. You can't use them.
It's a different argument. What are you talking about?
Semantics.
I love that you're arguing parity in the league, dude.
When I say parity, I mean year over year. Look at who's won the last 5 Super Bowls.
Who cares? This is this year.
People who want an entertaining product care.
Like they're going back to the Super Bowl, my friend. It could happen.
They didn't look like it at this time last year either. That's my thing here. They didn't.
The Eagles were rolling this time last year.
I said the Chiefs did not look like they were going back.
Well, and they lost. So
but they win though.
AFC.
They got back to the Super Bowl.
Were we done talking about? Did we make our picks for the Rams, Baltimore? I don't think we did. Who do you got? Who do you got, Frankie?
Wait, this game already happened. We're recapping.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. See, you got me all flustered. We all picked the Rams, and we were all right because we knew that Lamar wasn't going to play, and they kind of revolve around him, right? 17-3, you guys. What a stinking...
The Rams should have absolutely demolished the Ravens for the way they were playing, and they didn't.
Well, let's. I think there's two tails of the tape on this one, guys. When this type of game happens, you either go in and you just roll, or you kind of take the week off, and you're like, okay, we don't have to put forth, a billion points. We don't have to risk injury. And they still got injured players from that game. But, I think the Rams, they played down to their diminished opponent. They didn't go in there thinking, let's put the hammer down. And it's not college. College, you score until, there's no time on the clock. This week, we saw Seattle take points off the board just to secure a victory. But we'll get to that. But, yeah, we all picked the Rams. We were all right. 17-3. God damn. God damn. All right, then we got Dallas, Carolina. I'm going to go, hee. Both of you guys picked Dallas. In fact, Ben said, I can't believe you would even consider picking Carolina. I picked Carolina, and they pull it out 30-27.
Rico.
What happened, Ben? What happened to Dallas going into Carolina?
They turned back into the Dallas Cowboys I thought they were going to be at the start of the year. That's what happened. For a couple weeks there, they looked a lot better than I thought they were going to be. This showed me exactly what I thought at the beginning of the year was right.
They still scored 27 on offense. They just gave up 30.
Yeah, the Carolina defense sucks.
Frankie, do you think this is because of the losses of Michael Parsons and Lawrence?
Well, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Their defense took a hit when they lost those two guys and didn't really replace them with anybody. And it's the Jerry Jones circus. That's always been the case. But no, they did put 27 points up because Carolina is not a good team. But Carolina had the ball last. And it was one of those whoever has the ball last wins the game kind of game. That's what happened.
Can we say that Bryce Young sucks when they put 30 points on the board?
Yes, because that Dallas defense is horrible.
All right. I guess time will...
Spencer Rattler put up 3 touchdowns last week. I need to remind you of that. And we know he's not a good quarterback.
Well, he won a... All right, fine. I'm not going to... Look, you're not going to have me on this show defending Spencer Rattler, okay?
I beg you to. Try, please.
All right. So, from there we go. Arizona, Indianapolis. Indianapolis is... I don't even know that they're scary, but they're becoming very consistently dependable. They beat Arizona 31-27. Again, Arizona didn't have like a crazy drop the ball at the last second type of play. Actually, the coach, he apologized for being over emotional about that. But, God, what's the ceiling for Indianapolis, Frankie?
Excuse me. Let's put it this way: Arizona. I mean, they're just really they're not that good. They're sitting at 2-4 right now after week 6, so they were going to this one, 1-4. So there should have been a lot more points scored if Danny Dimes is the guy. I think they're going to hit a wall. I think this Indianapolis team is the real deal for now. I say for now cautiously, though. We all know...
You just don't want to commit.
I don't want to commit to it yet, no. I don't.
I'm going to commit to their playoff team. Ben, can they win a playoff game?
No. They're going to win the division. That division sucks. They're going to win. And they're going to win a lot of games. They might be the 2 or the 3 seed. I wouldn't be that surprised, but they're going to probably lose in the first round.
All right, what's the factor in there that keeps them from being a playoff winning team?
His name is Daniel Jones.
I knew you were going to say that. I led the horse to water and then he drank.
His name... Listen, I understand Daniel Jones is a good story right now, and they're probably going to give him Comeback Player of the Year, even though that's not what that award's for. Which is hilarious in its own right. But this team is going to go out in the first round to probably Kansas City or somebody like that. And then we'll have this conversation again, and you'll be like, wow, I can't believe Ben was right, when I usually am.
Oh, you usually are. That's why you are 8-7 this week.
Well, I was going to put the... Should I start pointing?
Pointing. I don't
Every
even...
time I talk,
no one's going to see because our heads are in circles anyway. It's fine. Yeah, dude, I like Indy. I like this team a lot. Like, if Seattle didn't exist, they might, and I had to pick a team, I might be all in on the Colts. The Clots, 31-27. All right, now we got... I'm going to throw a statistic out. You can see, Seattle goes to Jacksonville, which is 3-hour time change. That game for them starts at 10 a.m. on Seattle time. All right. Mike McDaniels, since he joined Seattle, he's 10-1 on the road. He's 10-1 on the road.
McDonald's, you mean?
Yeah, McDonald. I'm sorry. You're right. My own coach. I fucked up. He's 10-1 on the road. He's got these guys ready. And for some reason, one of the greatest home field advantages in the NFL is where they struggle. Ben, you said Jacksonville is going to take this one. I know that you weren't confident in this pick, So I'm going to let you go first. What did you see that led you to think that Jacksonville was going to do it?
I just thought maybe they were a little better than this. I mean, Seattle didn't even play their best football on Sunday. I think Dames would agree with me on that.
Yeah.
And they still beat this Jacksonville team. I mean, I'm not surprised. That game was a coin flip to me. But Seattle, if you're going to win this game and you're going to play like that, I mean, go buy a lottery ticket because
It was only a one-score game, though.
Well, look, I look at it this way. 3 of the 4 main guys in our secondary were out. Reek Woolen was out, Witherspoon was out, and Julian Love was out. That's 3 potential Pro Bowl players that were all out for this game. So Trevor Lawrence should have been able to throw all over the place. He got almost nothing accomplished. He did have 2 touchdowns, but I mean, these guys, they break down. I mean, these replacement players, they just broke down. And, you know, it is what it is. But the defense, to me, they sacked Trevor Lawrence 7 times. So that front 7 is up for the task. Now, once we get these injured players back and we can really play with a full deck of cards, it's going to be pretty interesting. Frankie, you and I both picked Seattle. Why did we know? Is it his hair? It can't just be his hair.
It's his hair. I'm gonna. It's his hair. Something's got to happen with that. And then that awkward ass commercial that he's in. I can't handle that commercial.
I don't know which one you're referring to, but
you have to watch it. It's on YouTube. It's
awkward. So
him and Hunter do a commercial, and it's really his hair's got to go.
20-12 final score. It was 23-12 at one point, but they had an offside penalty on our kick, so that gave us a first down. So rather than take the points and a 10-point lead, McDonald just decided to take the points off the board and say, "We'll just take a knee." All things considered, I didn't like removing points off the board. You never do, but when you can do that and then just take a knee for the rest of the game, I'll take it. All right, we got the Chargers, the reeling Chargers, kind of, man, going into Miami, and it was a fight. It was a fight to stay alive in Miami. Miami sucks, but they can score, you guys. Frankie, how did the Chargers pull this out? 29-27.
Because it's Miami. And, I mean, that's all I can say about it. It's Miami. Miami, they're good at losing. If they're good at anything, they're good at losing.
They might be the best at losing, if we're not for the Jets. Any comments on this game, Ben?
Yeah, if you were playing anybody else, Chargers, you would have absolutely lost this game. You should be so lucky, so fortunate that Mike McDaniel, who is now firmly the worst head coach remaining in the league because Callahan's gone, was on the other end of the sideline.
And what's going on with the Chargers?
I have no idea. I have asked myself that several times. What the hell is going on with this team? Because they should be a lot better than they are.
All right.
I can say that about the whole AFC West, though. Look at that whole AFC West. Those are 4 teams that you think should be way better than they are right now.
Yeah. We got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. We all were on Pittsburgh. They ended up winning 23-9. I don't really have a lot to say about this game. I mean, they did what we thought they were going to do.
Not much narrative.
And I mean, let's just say Pittsburgh looks like a playoff team right now. Whatever that means. Okay. Then we had, dude, you remember when New England beat Buffalo? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And I'm not bringing it up to rub it in because they beat New Orleans this week, and New Orleans put up a game on them, dude. 25-19. Is this, and this is for you first, Ben, is this New England playing down to an opponent, or is New Orleans not as bad as we think?
This is New England playing down.
Okay.
We've seen this from Mike Vrabel teams before. Go look at what he did when he was in Tennessee that year. They won like 13 or 14 games, whatever it was. They will do this sometimes where they will, we talked about it before, take the week off. We talked about it with the Rams. Oh, we don't have to risk anything. This Patriots team, they're like a 6 or 7 seed to me. That's their ceiling. They should have been better than this. Frustrating game if
One
you're
would
a Patriots
argue a
fan.
win's a win.
Yeah, but it's a frustrating win.
Sure.
I
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I've seen a couple of frustrating wins this season, or even this Jacksonville game. I was not really ever worried, and that concerns me because normally when I watch Seahawk football, I'm like always worried. And I was like, there was nothing about this game that made me any. Even when they scored first, I was like, whatever. That's concerning, but I honestly think New Orleans is better than we think. Frankie, do you disagree?
No, I don't. It's just funny. I can't see a Mike Vrabel right now playing down. He's trying to rebuild that organization and crush people. So for him to have a game plan to play down on the road in New
To be
Orleans,
fair, I don't think it's ever something that you consciously like
yeah, it's not
decide.
something you choose to do.
I
It's
think it's
something
just
that
like it's a mentality. You're like, these guys aren't very good. You go in there hyped up, but you're like, you're not really hyped. Like, think about how it is to watch a game
yeah,
against the team that you know you're going to slaughter. You're not like, there's no nerves. It's a different energy. Let's just be real, dude. Like, if you know that you're going to play the Saints, like when
yeah.
we came to Seattle, I was like, I know this is going to be a blowout. And then we scored 44 on them. I was like, that sucked. How do you even, I mean, and the best way I can is equate this is I went to a game in 2012 where the Arizona Cardinals came to Seattle and we won 58-0. And the stadium should be the loudest stadium. I was like, this sucks, dude. I want like an atmosphere where like my head's on fire because people behind me are screaming so loud. And I just didn't get it. I mean, I got it for like the first 10 minutes, but after the blowout was imminent. So there is, yeah, you're right, dude. There's no way that Vrabel would be like, okay, guys, we don't really have to try this week. No coach would ever do that.
No.
He'd be like, go beat their asses. But I'm talking
I just think you're seeing what the Patriots are going to be in the future. I don't see them being any sort of huge threat moving into the second half of the season. Yeah, they're going to win some games. Yeah, they might be looking at a wild card or whatever. They're sitting 4-2 running the AFC East right now only because the Bills lost last night or on Monday night. But I'm not worried about New England. I'm not worried that they're the team that they're going to be probably starting next year. I'm not sold on a Drake May yet. I'm real weird about rookie and second year quarterbacks.
See, I really like what Drake May's putting together. Let me ask you this, though, Frankie, and heaven forbid, should New England beat you guys a second time this season, would that change anything about your opinion?
I mean, it could. We play them in December, and we all know that December could be meaningless games or this game means everything.
Sure.
So it's hard to answer that question ahead of time.
Let me give
Will
you
it change my view? Potentially. It depends
Let me
on
give
what
you a little-
situation we're in.
perspective here. If Brock Purdy beat Seattle twice in one season, I would still say he sucks. I would
Then
say he's not great.
I don't think Drake May is that great. I think he's got good weapons.
That's what I
He
was
can
trying
throw a
to
ball.
get you to say.
Yeah,
I was just trying to get you to say it.
I did. I'll say it to his face.
All right. Well, don't do that because
I'll call him Drake Mayonnaise.
Drake Miracle Lip would really piss him off.
Oh, devil eggs.
All right, let's move on. Tennessee at Las Vegas. This man, Ben actually picked a tie.
Ben.
You know what? This game was bullshit. It really was. Like the Raiders went up quick, but they didn't look good doing it. They did not look good doing it. And man, what a terrible nightmare of football this game was. Ben,
Do you miss Geno Smith still?
he sucks, dude.
He hit the wall.
He sucks. Ben, do you have anything to say about this game, or you over it.
I'm just befuddled at how bad these two teams are.
I wrote down you had this score as 3-3.
I'm surprised this game was so high scoring. Really,
It was actually 10-20. There was 30 points scored in this game, but like I said, it was all, dude. This game's. I watched most of it, and I was like, oh, why am I doing this to myself? And I thought about you because I was like, oh man, Ben's right once in a while. Like this game kind of just was a stinker. All right, let's move on. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Man, this one kind of went sideways. Tampa goes up. They can't really put the clamps down on San Francisco. Kept coming back. They finally did end up winning. We all had Tampa winning, and they did. I don't know if anybody has anything they want to say about this.
this game solidified Baker Mayfield as MVP for me. I think it's done.
Man.
Frank, you can't look. I know that you're like up Josh Allen's ass.
No.
But you cannot deny what Baker Mayfield is doing right now.
I'm not denying
He's
anything.
incredible. He beat us, dude, and I'm not happy about it. He was jawing with fans, and I'm like, someone please punch him. But I love that motherfucker's game, dude. He's all guts, dude. I mean, he can make Farvian mistakes. He could throw 4 interceptions in a game, but as long as he's still in it, he's slinging it, and he's not thinking about any of that. He's like, we got to win, and that's all there is to it. And
Okay.
I'm just saying you can't. At some point, you're going to have to be like, all right.
At which point I'll bring out the pink marker.
You throw a flag on yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
The pink flag.
Cincinnati at Green Bay. We all had Green Bay, but whoa. Whoa. This was at Lambeau, dude. I mean, and I realize Joe Flacco was in town, but he had like 3 days to prepare for this game. But that's why you got Joe Flacco, because you can plug and play. He's been in the league since Jesus passed away or whatever. So yeah, he should know how to play. And 27-18. Are you worried about the Packers?
No.
I don't care about the Packers. I want them to be bad. I wanted them to lose this game. I still picked them to win.
Do you think there's cause for concern for Packers fans?
No, they're fine. This was another one of those games where it just kind of looked like they were there, but didn't really want to be.
See, I think the Packers have a great team, but I'm the one that's not sold on Jordan Love. Frankie,
I'm not sold on him either, but they're a good team.
Frankie, should I be?
Sold on Jordan Love?
Yeah.
I don't like answering these questions. At this point, out of all the newer quarterbacks throughout the league, yeah, I would be sold on Jordan Love. For sure.
All right, and so would you be worried as a Green Bay fan when you're being this close?
No.
All right.
No, I mean, they won 27-18. Yeah, Joe Flacco threw a couple touchdowns, but it never seemed like Green Bay didn't have control of that game. I mean, yeah, the score went back and forth, but at the end of the day, they put up 27 points, 18 of that Cincinnati, so they won the game.
Well, and they were coming off a bye week too, so
Yeah, a little slow.
always tough. Always tough to get back in the swing. All right, this is where I'm starting to get really pissed off. Sunday Night Football. We had what was going to be a banger game. Detroit goes into Kansas City, who has not looked great, and this was the trap game for Detroit. We thought it was Kansas City, but it was Detroit. We all said Detroit was going to win this game, and we all left eating bags of shit. What happened here, Frankie?
Well, Kansas City actually played a home game. They actually showed up. They had a game plan. They played the game, and the referees helped them along the way. It was like any normal home win for the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Ben, do you feel like there are consistency issues with the Chiefs, or are we going to see them on the bounce back?
They still have a consistency problem, but here's where I think we're all going to roll our eyes again, because we're looking at a very similar January to the one we've seen many times before, which is the Chiefs come in there not maybe looking their best and still find a way to end up in the AFC title game, because I'm telling you it could happen. And anyone in the AFC at the top there, whether it's Buffalo or whoever, that thinks, oh, Kansas City's not a factor, they're not even going to make it. If anybody's thinking that right now, you stop, because if Mahomes stays healthy, they're going to be fine. They're going to win like 10, 11 games.
Well, here's the thing, Ben. It's not so much that I'm rolling my eyes as I am barfing. But here's why I look at this and I say, okay, Baltimore is clearly checked out for the moment. So you've got really Buffalo and Kansas City. That's your AFC championship game right now. Right?
Yes.
I mean, and we're saying that knowing that even the Chiefs are third in their division right now. It's
And
not
Denver,
that way.
because here's the thing. Denver would not beat Buffalo in a playoff game. I think both of you would agree with me on that. In Buffalo, that game would be in Buffalo. Denver's not winning that game. I don't think anybody...
I can't say for sure, but on paper, I'm saying no. There's no way.
Would anybody here pick the Chargers to beat Buffalo in January?
No.
So,
Okay.
Those are the other two teams
Here's
that
the
could win
thing,
the
though.
West.
I would say Pittsburgh could go into Buffalo and win.
No, not with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is old and decrepit.
It depends on what Rodgers shows up, man.
If it's the Rodgers that was on the Jets last year that shows up.
Well, he has not showed up this year.
What are you talking about?
They're 4-1. What are you talking about?
Their defense is incredible.
So why couldn't they beat?
You just said earlier defenses don't win games.
I said the Jets defense would win them a game.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
that's what he said. So I don't, dude. And I'm not saying that I would bet on Pittsburgh to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I'm saying it could happen, based on what I've seen from Buffalo the last.
Yeah,
If
and I
Buffalo
could
was
grow
undefeated. I would not be saying that clearly.
And I could grow a second head and a third arm.
I mean, the likelihood of that happening is not anywhere.
They're the same likelihood, buddy.
No one has ever grown a second head and a third arm. No one ever, except for Swamp Thing, and you're not Swamp Thing. Frankie's like,
Wouldn't it be cool if I was, though?
It would be cool, but you cannot say that that's the same thing as a team beating another team in a sport that the ball is shaped the way it is. It bounces funny. And we've seen, unfortunately, Buffalo lose 2 in a row to teams they should have beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, Pittsburgh, if they get on a roller and they win like the next 6 or 7 games, that's just going to be momentum. I mean, momentum goes a long way in games, guys. All right. We all sucked on that choice. We picked Detroit, and we were fucking losers. All right. Next was the first Monday Night Football game. Buffalo at Atlanta. Frankie, I watched your show, and I watched T.O. call it, and I laughed at him. I said, this man's a fool. This man's a fool. And then I said in our show I was like, I really like Michael Penix Jr. He's my boy, but they ain't going to win. And Ben said I wouldn't take a single person on Atlanta's team, and I reminded him they had Bijan Robinson. Had an 81-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben's like, yeah, I guess I would take Bijan Robinson. Of course you would, Bijan Robinson, fool. But we all picked Buffalo, and we were all, again, holding our dicks in our hands.
Pretty
Frank,
much.
you go first because it was your game.
I'm not as angry about this as I thought I would be. Was I watching the game going, oh, Jesus. Yeah, most of the time. But I'm a Bills fan. I know that we're not even close to being out of it yet. I know that a lot of the favorite teams right now are 3-3, 4-2, 4-1. The season's far from over. The Bills are going to make adjustments. We're going into the bye week, a much-needed bye week. Perfect time of the year for a bye week for the Bills. We've got some guys coming back from injury. Also, a couple guys on defense have been suspended for the first 6. So I think you're going to see a different Bills team starting week 8. the offense definitely needs to pick it up. There's got to be some more usage of James Cook. It seems to me like there was some bad play calling there. Am I upset about it? No, because I know that they're still gonna be in the playoffs at the end, and that's a new season. So the regular season really doesn't matter. Making it to the postseason, that's the real season. So we'll see what happens
I
when we get
agree,
there.
and you guys are in good shape to get there. And here's the thing: you're right about the offense needs to pick it up, especially when you know your defense is not going to do it. Ben, what did you see in this game?
Buffalo did exactly what they needed to do to not win this game, which was their offense didn't show up. Atlanta, for the record, as much as I laugh at the Falcons because they're hilarious, I wanted the Vikings to draft Michael Penix. So it's not a quarterback issue with me in Atlanta. It's a who runs that organization issue. But credit to Atlanta, they won the game. Bijan had that 80-yarder and kind of just felt over from there.
Yeah, I mean, I like Michael Penix Jr. It's hard for me to pick Atlanta because there's so many factors that you're like, okay, who are they playing? And even then, if they're playing New Orleans, I'm like,
There's a lot of Penix talk around here.
right. So yeah, all right. Well, congrats to Atlanta. Is somebody going to be calling about Kirk Cousins? Because,
No, because that contract is massive.
well, they wouldn't have to pay all of it, mind you. All right, let's move on to the last game of the week, which was Chicago at Washington. You mugs both picked Washington, and I said, watch this. The Bears are going to win. Ben was like, you're an idiot. And, well, that may be true. I was correct on this game. Ben,
You are still an idiot, by the way.
25, I just said that. 25-24. Go ahead, Ben. How did Chicago pull off what was impossible 7 days ago?
They got their shit together temporarily. I don't know, dude. Look. This Commanders team has completely baffled me. It feels like every time I pick them, they lose, but when I pick against them, they win. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we all got that team where we pick them and then they constantly let us down. And the moment we don't pick them because they've constantly let us down, they let us down by winning. All right, Frankie, did you watch any of this? Were you up after the Bills game, or did you just say "fuck this"?
I watched a little bit of it. For me, it wasn't a game that I really had planned on watching. I didn't like the way the games were staggered. 7 p.m., 7:15 Eastern, and then 8:15 Eastern. When the Bills game's on, I'll watch the Bills game. See, I'm a red zone guy when the Bills aren't playing, and there was no red zone. So for me, once the Bills game was pretty much over, I clocked out for the night.
Very good. Chicago did win it 25-24.
Phew.
Exciting game, actually, right at the end, all the way to the end. All right.
Isn't the kicker of Chicago the one that Debo Samuel smacked in the head when he was kicking for San Fran and shitting it up? Moody?
Yeah.
And then he goes and wins a game for Chicago. How's that look?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot to talk about the fight in the Kansas City game.
That was just... I don't know if that was really a fight. That was just Branch sticking up for what he believed in, and he's got to take that mouth guard out of his helmet. It's starting to bother me.
He actually needs to put the mouth guard in and just shut his mouth.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I
Take it out of the helmet and put it in your mouth.
That was very poor sportsmanship, Ben.
Can we get like a 2-minute break here? I just have to piss and get
Yeah,
something
yeah.
quick.
All right. While you're doing that, we had bye week for Houston and Minnesota. When Ben gets back, we'll talk about week 7.
Oh, and you know what? I'm going to run to 2 doors down and grab a piece of apple pie that just got text offered to me. I'll be right back. I'll be faster than Ben.
Well,
I'm not editing this out in the full show, so
why not?
you know that you're
I'll be right back.
Because the shows are unedited, Ben. That's the whole point. The edits come when I make the short shows. Do 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 do. La di da 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 di da di da. I can talk shit about these guys while they're gone, and they'll never know it. Frankie's feeding his dog out of an ashtray back there. That's what it looks like to me. And Ben, of course, 2 marks on the spark. Haven't had a show in about 3 weeks, so I'm sorry if that's something that you're looking forward to. I haven't gotten it. All right, so our records picking this week or this year so far. Again, I was 12-3. Frankie was 10-5, and Ben was 8-7. On the season, I'm 53-24 with my picks. That's darn near 75% accurate. Not to pat myself on the back, but and then you got Frankie who's 43-34, and then Ben who's 1 game better than that at 44-33. I really wish that you guys were playing along because it was a lot more fun when we could talk about that. And I realized that we didn't always talk about it. That's just because we had no direction. We kind of have direction now, but look, there's a little doggy. Go eat out of your ashtray. Sorry, it just looks like an ashtray to me. You guys can't see it, I guess, because, well, it's outside of the circle. Anyway, I'll shut up now and just wait for them to get back. So you can talk about the Mariners being up 2-0 on the Blue Jays of Toronto. And then right now, the Seattle Kraken are playing. And they are down 1-0 at the end of the first period. Son of a bitch. They're 2-0 right now, and I fully anticipate we will lose to the Montreal Canadiens. Ben, how are the Wild doing?
It depends on what night you watch them.
We're 2-1, right?
I think we're 1-1, unless I missed a game somewhere, which I might have. Happens.
Yeah, as soon as this show's over, I'll be tuning into the 3rd period of the Kraken game. And I'll be giving my update video. I'm doing a video for every Kraken game. Post game.
I don't have that kind of time.
2 minutes.
I don't have the time to watch every Wild game. I'm not home when they're on most of the time.
So, yeah.
If I'm home when the Wild are on, I'll watch it. But
no one has really seemed to care. I don't think I've got more than 120 views on either of the first 2 games.
Well, there goes Frankie's dog again. There's Frankie.
Okay, sorry about that.
Jesus Christ.
Apple pie. And Ben, she gave me microwave Ben's rice because she doesn't have a microwave.
That's Ben's original rice.
How do you not have a
Basmati.
microwave? That's crazy.
Some old people don't.
Dude, I didn't have a microwave when I had my house, and I did it on purpose.
I got basmati and jasmine. I'll microwave the shit out of it. And apple pie from an old woman.
Somebody would come over, they'd be like, my mom would be like, why don't you have a microwave? I'm like, because I like to actually cook.
Why? Why do you like to cook? That's so weird to me.
Fun. It's fun.
Me and Dames used to have chef talks. You would have hated those.
I think, like, listening to people that like to cook is fun. I wouldn't have hated that.
All right, new show idea, Frankie.
Yeah, the chefs. The salty balls.
The salty ball. Okay, change the subject.
All right, let's talk about week 7. Motherfuckers.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I mean, this is a casual affair. All right.
That was a joke, of course.
Week 7, guys. Week 7 already. the playoff picture is not clear. It's murky. Some of the teams, as we already said, are like 3-3. Some of the best teams are 3-3. So we'll see what happens from there, and we'll talk about week 7. We got Thursday night football. An angry Mike Tomlin goes into Cincinnati, where they recently acquired Joe Flacco. And what do you suppose happens in this game, Frankie? I'll let you go first.
I'm just going to do it. I'm taking Cincinnati. I think Joe Flacco is going to shred the shit out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that brings questions before I go to Ben. Since you've been so adamantly against Mike Tomlin being a baby about this, are you going to feel really good if that happens? If Cincinnati goes in there or stays in there and wins?
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh, I'll be extremely happy. Yeah, of course. Not only will Aaron Rodgers lose, who I can't stand, but Mike Tomlin will get the bitch smack in his face by Joe Flacco. That's all I really care about with this game is I want to see revenge. I want to see revenge for Mike Tomlin being a baby. A stand-up guy.
Ben, what do you got in this game?
As funny as I would find the Pat McAfee show the next day when he crashes out over the fact that the Steelers lost. As fun as I would find that, I'm not picking the Bengals because it's 50-million-year-old Joe Flacco and a broken-down offensive line. What do you think is going to happen against that Steelers pass rush? Steelers by 20.
All right.
I hate Aaron Rodgers, too, by the way.
I really hate Aaron Rodgers. I don't think anybody here is an Aaron Rodgers apologist or lover. But,
No.
Dude, honestly, from what I've seen from the Bengals, even with Flacco, I got Pittsburgh, but I won't be upset if Cincinnati comes in or stays home and sneaks this one out. So, what do you guys think in the comments? Who do you got here? Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, Thursday night football. Now, is this yeah, dude, this New Orleans game.
No, it's Jacksonville, LA, and London.
Yeah, I missed one. I missed a game here, guys. I'm going to add it in at the last second. I realized.
I go by my pick'em sheets.
All right. The Rams at Jacksonville.
In London.
This game's, where is it?
London.
In London.
In London?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't pick this game, so I'm going to pick after you guys pick. I'm going to let Ben take the reins on this one. Interesting matchup here. Go ahead.
Not worth getting up for. Seriously, if I'm up this early on a Sunday, I'll watch it. But if I'm not up, I'm not setting an alarm to get up and watch this on a Sunday. Look, the Rams should absolutely win this game. I'm picking them to win this game. But will I be surprised in the slightest if something stupid happens and, like, Matthew Stafford falls on his ass and breaks his back again and the Jaguars win? No, I wouldn't be that surprised, I guess.
Maybe it's a young person's thing, but it's 8:30 early for.
It's early for a weekend when you don't have any vested interest in the game.
I'm usually up at 5 a.m., you guys. So
I'm an early riser, too.
8:30 to me is like sleeping in like 3.5 hours.
You know, I feel like I'm breaking the law if I sleep past 10 a.m. I'm like, oh my god, the cops are
You're
coming.
like, where did they go?
Yeah. What's
All
going
right,
on?
so Frankie, what do you have in this game here?
You know, I hate doing this. I have to go with Locks of Love on this one.
Really?
I have to.
Why?
I have to. He fits in London. He's got the swag.
This is
for
like their
London.
28th game in London since he's been a player.
Yeah, maybe he'll win one. I'm just going to take Jacksonville.
I
I
like
have to go with my gut instinct this week. I have to prevail. If anybody wants to have a competition with me, for by all means, leave it in the comments. But I'm taking Jacksonville this week. Their home game in London. The Rams, no Puka Nakua. I just take the Jaguars.
All right. Here's the thing. I had no idea who I was going to pick in this game, so I am going to go. I'm going to go with Ben. I'm going to go with Ben on this one, and that's just because he has a one-game better record than you on the season. You picked against both of us in these first two games, which is the first time that's happened. Usually, the first two games were like lockstep, but not this time. We're already on a trajectory where it's going to be funner to edit because I get to use different pictures.
It's a new sheriff in town.
All right. So, yeah, I think two of us on the Rams. I hope Jacksonville wins. I really do because F the Rams. All right. Frankie, I'm coming to you on this one, dude, because this is tough. New Orleans at Chicago.
Chicago.
Why?
Chicago's at home. Rattler. Rattlesnakes don't do good in the cold.
I think he's more interested in his pie than he is the show right now. So, Ben, take as much time as you need to tell me why New Orleans is going to win this game while Frankie eats his pie.
New Orleans is not winning this game. Chicago
bet?
is
You want to bet?
the bet. I don't make bets with people I don't trust, and I definitely don't trust you.
All right.
You are low on the totem pole of trust. Very low. Almost the bottom.
No apple pie for you.
I trust Frankie more than I trust you, Dames. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Wow.
Fair. That's fair.
Thanks, Ben.
Do I get a piece of apple pie now?
It's a very small, it's an old people size. I'm like, can I have the whole pie? Is it, which piece is mine?
It's American, you guys. All right, I'm picking Chicago because I like this Bears team. I do.
I don't. I just think New Orleans is awful.
Well, you think Chicago's awful too? I mean, you said that last week.
Yeah, Chicago is less awful. There's degrees of awful.
All right, less awful. Speaking of awful, Ben, Miami at Cleveland. This game's during a regular time that you should be awake.
I'll be watching the Vikings game.
Is this a 4 p.m. game? Or 1 p.m.?
Oh, this is an early slate.
Yeah, I know. 1 p.m.
I'll be watching the Vikings game, and I will not be checking the score of this game either. I just don't.
Well, who do you got? You got to pick somebody.
Miami is they're awful. Tua turned the ball over, has made his return. Mike McDaniel and his capri pants that Frankie likes to talk about perhaps a little too much. I don't care who wins this game. I hope the stadium implodes, but I'm going to pick Cleveland because their defense is just that much better.
All right. So both teams coming into this game are 1-5, Frankie. That means they have beaten somebody. Somebody's going to walk out of here with a second victory.
With a dub.
They can't be that awful if they beat two other teams.
Well, definitely the toilet bowl of the week. I'm going to take Miami on the road because Miami, they have to win one on the road. They have to win this week, or the social media is just going to have a field day on them more so than they already have. They will probably make a South Park episode about it if they don't win this week.
All right. To me, this is the battle of defense versus offense. The Dolphins can score points.
Yes, they can.
But they have no defense. The Browns can play defense, but they have no offense with their rookie quarterback. I don't know. I've just got a gut feeling that Miami is going to pull this one out. So I'm on Miami. Ben, you stand alone with the Browns. All right. Next.
That's not a place you want to be.
No, it's really not, but
It's a good song.
all right. It's all right. Someone had to do it. All right. We got Las Vegas at Kansas City. This one's a joke. Frankie, tell us the punchline.
Vegas going to Kansas City. It's a rivalry. The only cool thing about that game is Max Crosby loves talking shit to Pat Mahomes, and I love every second of that. So I will watch this game because the Bills are on a bye this week. I will watch this game. I will root for the Raiders because I love Max Crosby. I think he's just an animal, and he's the only thing that brings excitement to that franchise, and he loves to smack the shit out of Pat Mahomes. I want to pick the Raiders so badly in this game. I really do. But the Chiefs are going to win. It's at home. It's a divisional game. I'm going to do what's right, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs. And it hurts to do that.
I can't disagree with you. I really think the Raiders have fallen off the mark. I said it before. They got the Jets version of Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, not the Seahawks version. Not that the Seahawks version of those two would go into Kansas City and win either. So I'm on Kansas City too. Ben, are you going to stand alone with the Raiders? Or
No, absolutely not. No. Kansas City is going to win this game, but they will do what they've done all year, which is make it look way harder than it needs to be. And they will probably win this like 27-13 or something silly like that, and it'll be really close until midway through the fourth quarter.
All right. I hope it's at least a good game. All right. Then we got Philadelphia Eagles, who have hit some adversity here recently. And they're going into Minnesota's coming off the bye week. Ben, this is your game. I'm going to let you take the pole position on why Philadelphia is going to dominate you.
If Philadelphia loses this game, they should fire Nick Sirianni. And no, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I don't. If they lose this game, fire Sirianni because this is unequivocally the worst 3-2 team in the league.
Any circumstances you'd fire him?
Under any circumstance that involves the Eagles somehow losing to the Vikings.
What if Hurts and Saquon Barkley can collide with each other and both go out?
It doesn't matter. You should not be losing to this Vikings team. The Vikings should be 0-5. Somehow they're 3-2, and somebody needs to put them down. And we're going to lose this week.
All right,
terribly.
Stop talking now because they're 3-2 and the Eagles are 4-2. Frankie, give me some reality here.
All right, reality is this: is they are technically same record teams. That, obviously the bye week kept somebody at 3-2. Ben, you go to the extremes. You're the firing guy. I would hate to work for you. Philadelphia might have a little bit of a challenge going into Minnesota with the whole skull thing, but I'm going to take Philadelphia. They're not going to lose miserably like they did last week. They're just not going to. They'll go into Minnesota. They'll win that game. J.J. McCarthy's going to be suited up. I don't see Minnesota doing too much, but I don't see anybody getting fired if by chance Philadelphia does lose the game. I don't think they will. I'm going to take Philadelphia real quickly. I'm going with my gut this week, and I'm going to take Philly on the road.
So Philly has lost to Denver and the Giants.
Yes.
Better teams than the Vikings. Both.
In a consecutive weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Better teams than the Vikings.
I still don't know what the ceiling is for this Vikings team. All I know is I have a friend who lives in misery and hates them even when they have a winning record. If we're being emotionally honest, Ben, you have no idea what this team even looks like still. You don't know.
They're terrible.
This roster is stacked. J.J. McCarthy is the X factor. He might not play past the first half. They can still pull him, right? I mean,
they're not going to bench him. They've put too much into him. They won't bench him unless unless we don't win another game until December. They're not going to bench him.
Okay, this is a weird thing. I'm gonna pick Philly, obviously, also because I care about my record, but I don't think it's outside the possibility. If the Vikings lose this game, is there any chance, just yes or no, any chance that they call the Falcons
No.
and ask for Kirk Cousins?
No, but this requires an explanation. Because Kirk Cousins, when he left here, did not leave in the best place with Kevin O'Connell. And him and O'Connell had a good relationship for a long time, and towards the end they did not. And I think that, and I don't think, rather, that all of that has passed. I don't think they've talked. So, with that being the case, no, they're not going back after Kirk. Not now.
All right. Fair enough. Now let's move on to Carolina at the Jets.
I think you missed the game.
We're still in the noon window.
Oh. New England, Tennessee. I must have missed that one.
Coming up.
Oh, I got a different list. Sorry.
Carolina at the Jets. Go ahead, Frankie. Who you got in this one?
Could this be the week of the Capri where
I
the
hope
Miami
you
Dolphins and the Jets both win? Could this be the week? No. I'm going to take Carolina going into the Jets. I think that the Carolina Panthers showed a little bit. Rico Suave in it, and they were moving the ball and they were playing some football. So I like them to go in, and I don't see the Jets winning a game until late in the season. So.
All right, Ben. Here's the thing. You told me earlier that the Jets defense could win a game, and Bryce Young is terrible. So I'm coming to you now, and I'm going to ask you: do you have it in you to pick the Jets over the Panthers?
I'm picking the Panthers because they have more talent. They're both bad teams. This is another toilet bowl candidate for the week. This game could be 9-6. Like, there could just be no offense here, but I'm picking Carolina.
All right. I have to take an issue with what you said, and that's on the talent front. I look at this Jets roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and I could name at least 8 players that have been or are Pro Bowlers. I can't even name 8 players on Carolina's team. So what are you talking
Half of Carolina's starters are rookies. Need I remind you of that? Or second-year guys.
That doesn't mean talent.
In a dysfunctional organization.
All right.
Carolina wins these games against these horrible teams all the time. Even with Bryce Young, they've
They're
still
not going to
managed...
be a horrible team. If they do what they're supposed to do, they can't also be horrible.
They're just good enough to beat teams worse than them, but they're not good enough to beat anybody above the Jets, I don't think.
Well, they beat the Cowboys.
If they win this game, they're going to have a
4-3 record.
4-3. They're going to be 4-3. You
doesn't
can't say
matter.
that that's a terrible team. You just can't.
Does it matter, is the question? Does Carolina
Sort of.
having a winning record in week 7 matter? No.
I think it says at least that they're not going to have to ditch Bryce Young.
I like their coach, for the record. I like Carolina's coach.
All right.
I don't like their
I
quarterback.
like Bryce Young. I've stuck with him through thick and thin, mostly thin, but I'm going to pick him to beat the Jets because the Jets have to beat somebody before I'm going to pick them. I'm looking at 3-3 and 0-6, and I still think the Jets have a chance to win this game. I just don't think they will. I got Carolina also. All right, Frankie, your New England Patriots are going into Tennessee to face the number 1 pick of the draft, Cam Ward, Sands, Brian Callahan. What do you see happening in this game?
Do we have any word on who the interim coach is? Not that really matters.
I don't remember his name, but
Nobody
was on the team already.
Oh, so it's okay. Gosh, I hate doing it. I hate picking these games because usually the week of a firing, it seems like the team always rallies and kicks ass after their coach has gotten fired. And I almost wonder, is this going to be a case of we're happy this fucker's gone and we're going to go out and kick some ass? And especially Mike Vrabel coming back to town with his weird eye. Looks like his eye's always got like pink eye. I don't know what's up with his eye. But is he going to come back in the building and just get destroyed? It could happen.
I implore you, Frankie, make this choice. Make this choice.
I'm going to...
Make the choice.
If anybody wants to join my bandwagon and back and support my picks, drop a comment, because I am going to be a focal point of this week. I'm going to have the best record. I'm going to take Tennessee.
All right. You heard it here. It's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. You've got a 1-5 team playing a 4-2 team. This could be a trap game. You're very, very right here. Ben, what do you got?
This could be a trap game. In fact, if this breaks down as the way you guys are saying it won't, but it could, which is it ends up being a close game and Tennessee sneaks out of there. Maybe, but I don't see it. I'm picking New England because I just think they're the better team. I think Tennessee's like the 30th best team in the league right now, maybe 31st. So they're just... Both these teams suck to some level. New England is in the first year of a new project, and Tennessee is in the 7th year of a new project. So, and they just fired their coach. So... Yeah, New England.
All right, profound. I'm going to go with... I really like Drake May. I really do. I know Frankie's not sold on him, but I am. And I think that he's going to have a good future there if they can put some pieces around him. They certainly should go in there and just wallop Tennessee, and I think that they do. I got Tennessee in this one. All right. This is interesting, guys. I know I say that before every game, but you got the New York Football Giants, who just kind of dazzled their way into a victory over Philadelphia against a team that barely put away a lesser opponent in Denver. They barely put away the Jets. So if we're talking about the Jets not being able to beat Carolina, then we have to look at they almost beat Denver. How can the Giants lose to Denver? Ben?
They shouldn't. The Broncos should not lose to the Giants. Was that the question? I'm sorry.
Yes.
If the Broncos lose to the Giants, I have a lot more questions about the Broncos than I did already.
So you're going Denver?
Who isn't going to go Denver? If you're picking the Giants here, I don't know what you're thinking.
You're thinking they've won 2 out of the last 3 with Jackson Dart.
And Scatterpoop.
Including 2 teams that they shouldn't have beat.
I don't care.
A team they shouldn't beat.
Dude, use your brain, guys.
Look, that's exactly what I'm explaining to you. The logic in why someone would pick the Giants to beat Denver.
There isn't logic there. You beat an Eagles team that can't get its shit together.
They barely... Who would win in a game, the Giants or the Jets?
The Giants right now.
Obviously. Denver just barely snuck by the Jets by 2 points. And you're telling me that the Giants don't have a chance to beat Denver?
No. Because the Giants were better than the Jets.
You can't tell me that for sure.
There is a chasm of talent gap here. There is a chasm.
Frankie's doing the Saturday Night Fever.
Why are you trying to argue with me? The difference in these 2 teams is massive. There's no Malik Neighbors.
I agree, but if you're telling me, you're almost going to bait me into picking the Giants. Just so I can come back here and spend an hour rubbing it in your face. I don't think they're going to win, or I would do that. But Frankie, what do you got in this game?
Am I going to do it?
I would. You know what? I would be your biggest fan if you picked the Giants.
I'm just going to take the Giants. I think Scatapoop is going to poop on the Broncos.
Do you like Cam Scattaboo, Frankie? I can't tell.
Not really.
I like saying his name.
I just like saying Scatapoop. I think the Giants go in there and they beat them. I think it'll be a real low scoring game, but I'm going with my heart this week. My heart, man.
Okay, Ben. Let me ask you this. I'm going to pick Denver, but let me ask you this question. And this is an honest question, requiring an honest answer. How many games are the Giants going to have to win before you're like,
10.
yeah, they could win a game. They could win.
They have to win 10. They have to have a winning season this year and win a playoff game for me to even consider them as a relevant organization again.
I mean, that's not the question. That's a fair statement. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to individual matchups, what are they?
I'm picking the team that's going to make the playoffs. The Broncos will probably make the playoffs.
I don't. Man, you're making me look like an ass.
The Broncos are a
I
playoff
don't
team.
necessarily disagree with your pick here. I'm just saying it's not outside the realm of possibility.
The logic here is the Giants are going to pick in the top 10. They just are. And the Broncos will be in the playoffs and maybe win a game. Here's my logic.
I would bet money that the Giants pick 11 or worse.
They might. But they're not going to be a playoff. They're not one of the 7 best
teams.
Who's
talking about playoffs? We're in week 7, right? Week 7, and the Giants are 2-4. They're not making the playoffs. Okay.
Good. You've gotten out.
But they've won 2 of the last 3 under their new quarterback, and 2 of those games they shouldn't have won, and the one that they should have won, they lost. So you don't know what's going on.
I do know. They're not a good football team.
God damn it. I'm picking Denver, but I fucking hope the Giants win this game.
I picked the Giants.
Slap you in the nuts next week.
I'm going to be blowing your phone up all Sunday, Ben. Might as well turn
when
that
it's
shit off
47-3 Denver in the third quarter.
Well, if that happens, I'm not even going to show up next week.
I'm going to send a picture.
I might not show up next week anyway. Who knows?
Show up. All right, let's move on.
Scatapoop.
I'm already going to have to condense that down to 3 minutes, which is an amazing test of my abilities. All right, this is another awesome challenge, dude. Indianapolis at the Chargers. We know kind of a little bit about Indianapolis. We don't know anything about the Chargers yet. We still can't define what this team is. Frankie, I'm going to let you pick this game first. Indianapolis at the Chargers. Go.
I'm taking the Colts. Oh, no. I meant the Chargers.
You're taking the Chargers?
At home, yeah.
Why?
Because they're at home. And the Colts are going on the road to SoFi, West Coast.
Okay.
And they're due to lose one. They're 5-1. They're due for an upset.
I agree they're due for an upset, but I'm not really confident.
What better guy than Jim Harbaugh, their former quarterback?
Ooh.
The narrative.
Ben, what do you got?
I think the wheels are going to fall off for the Colts, but I don't think it's here. I have them winning this game. The wheels are going to fall off this thing, but it's not going to be right now.
Shouldn't you have said the horseshoe's going to fall off?
I don't care, Damon.
Because Colts don't have wheels.
They have hoofs.
Would you make your pick, please?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Clots. I think they roll. I think they're good. I think Danny Dimes is...
I can't wait to be at the best record this week.
I think Danny Dimes is resurrected in his career with the Colts.
I don't.
And, well, that's fine. I mean, they're 5-1, so if
good for them.
They're going to But I will acknowledge, because I have logic, that they could lose this game. I just don't think they will.
They absolutely could lose this game, and I won't be surprised if they do.
You know what else? Green Bay at Arizona. Green Bay could lose this game in Arizona. They could. It could happen.
No.
Is it going to happen? I'm going to take Green Bay, but I'm not confident in that pick. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Arizona wins this game, I'm going to tell you that I called it, but I didn't really call it because I'm not picking them. So that's kind of a cop-out bullshit that I gave you guys. But I'm going Green Bay, not confidently. Ben, talk.
I hate Kyler Murray. I'm picking the Packers. Jonathan Gannon's a joke. This Cardinals organization sucks. What are you talking about, Damon? Frankie?
Well, Green Bay's going to win just because they're Green Bay and they got Micah Parsons. They got a better defense.
Green Bay's going
Kyler Murray, I think.
That is just astounding analysis, sir.
I isn't Kyler Murray hurt?
No.
Wasn't he? I thought
little.
he was hurt. He's little. He's a little bobblehead out there. I just
can't see him.
Green Bay's going to win.
All right.
I won't get. I'll let Ben take care of all the funny stuff here.
No, I love the profound nature of this show. Green Bay's going to win because they're Green Bay.
Here you go, Gopo.
You're not going to get any better. Guys, why even watch other shows? Watch Frankie's other show, because he'll probably say Green Bay is going to win because they're Green Bay on that show, too. So you get a double dose of that great analysis.
The Bay is green.
Frankie, I'm gonna go. We're all in Green Bay, but Ben. Wait, Ben, you picked Green Bay, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He hates Arizona.
I wanted you to pick Arizona, so that's why I put it there. All right, dude. Washington at Dallas, another division game. Frankie, is Dallas going to win this game because they're Dallas?
Dallas is going to lose this game because they're Dallas.
See how he set it up just like that, and he can knock down the pins. That was
Frankie.
There's two sides to every pancake.
That was a strike right down the middle.
I want to say for everybody to know here, the main reason I show up to this show is to hear great analysis from Frankie, just like that.
Yes, and to hate everything.
No, I don't hate everything. There's certain things that aren't entertaining, and I'm going to tell you what they are.
All right, is this game entertaining? Washington at Dallas?
No!
For nobody?
It's entertaining for Commanders and Cowboys fans.
Okay, give me a score and then tell me who's going to win.
37-34 Commanders. Dallas can keep this close, but they can't win.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with both of you. I'm going to say that Dallas wins this game at home. Washington goes on a 2-game losing streak.
Ooh. That's a take.
It's a take. It's a take. It's a take it or leave it. All right,
that's a rapidly tip.
When I think about these games coming up, I automatically think about what happened in the previous week. We got Atlanta coming to San Francisco. San Francisco is banged up. They just lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Atlanta just beat Buffalo, the best team in the NFL. This is great. This is great scheduling to have a Sunday night football game where Atlanta, for the second consecutive week, gets a primetime game. Are they going to take advantage of this, and are they going to beat San Francisco? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say yes because of what they just did to Buffalo and because San Francisco is so incredibly banged up. But what a huge 2-game win streak this would be for a young, up-and-coming Falcons team. Ben?
I'm picking San Francisco, but I want this to be my caution game of the week.
Trap game?
No, it's not a trap game. It's just a caution. I have no confidence in this pick.
What's the difference?
I have no confidence in picking San Francisco, but I'm picking San Francisco.
But what's the difference between... we got to define this. What's the difference between a caution game and a trap game?
You'd have to ask Frankie. He came up with the gimmick. It's not my gimmick.
Well, I've been calling his caution game trap game.
Yes.
But I'm not understanding.
I just have no confidence in this pick. I won't be surprised if Atlanta wins, but I'm picking San Francisco.
But that's a trap game.
Yes. You just got trapped.
All right. I think we just want to keep seeing the pen. I mean, then that's fine. I'm still going to put up the trap game logo that I spent an hour creating. But Frankie, what do you got in this game? Are you with me? Are you taking Atlanta? Or are you going to...
Oh, I'm definitely taking Atlanta. I just think that, with Warner going down, they're beat up in the defense and the way they ran through Buffalo. Not that Buffalo has a defense, because they really don't. I can't see Bijan Robinson slowing down, and Penix. I'm not a Penix fan yet, but he had a great game and he used his weapons. I think they carry over into San Francisco, and they have back-to-back primetime wins, definitely.
That would be... Dude, and let's be honest, guys. That would be huge for this Atlanta team. To have 2 primetime wins with a... He's really still a rookie quarterback, let's be honest.
He's only 4 or
There
5 games in.
last year, but he only played 3 games. So he's still on.
It would be great for Penix's confidence, but it would not mean a whole lot this year. They're still not a playoff team.
I mean, do you have to really be a playoff team to make...
You have to be a playoff team to be relevant in the NFL, yes.
That's fine, but I don't think that they came in here thinking they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're just trying to get better and see what they have in the guys that they've picked. And, I mean, the next 2 years, the window with Bijan Robinson and Drake London and Penix, those guys are all really young, and they're going to be on a rookie contract for 2 more years. So they don't have to do it this year. They just need to look like they can in the future, right?
3-2. They don't look too bad.
I mean, and let's be honest, dude. There are 31 losers every year. So I'm not going to sit here and say that only one team is good, because there's only one team that wins the title. There are other good teams.
I think there's 3 good teams, and usually it's one of the teams that wins the Super Bowl, and then the last couple of years it's been Buffalo, even though they've lost in the AFC title game.
So you've got Buffalo. You've got... Who are your other 2 teams that you...
Are we talking about for this year or for...
Where did the balloons come from?
Thank you for the balloons.
Who did that?
Yeah, that's sweet.
Balloons.
Anyway, I just want to stop with the balloons.
Sorry. Who are the other 2 good teams?
Are we talking about this year? We don't know who the 3 good teams are this year.
You said there are 3 good teams, and I want to know who they are.
This year or last year?
Now.
Right now, Buffalo's one of them. As much as I hate to say it, I think Kansas City's going to end up being one of them. And at the end of the year, I could see it being Tampa. That's the other good team.
All right. So you're telling me Seattle's not a good team?
Oh, Seattle's like 4th. They're right there.
And I'm not saying that because I'm a homer, dude. I'm just saying, like, the 2 games...
No, they're right there. They have a chance to be where I just put Tampa. It could be Tampa. It could be Seattle. Hell, if San Francisco gets healthy, it could be them too.
So 3 good teams. All right. And then
At the end of every season, that's what it boils down to.
Okay. I don't understand that logic. But then let's go talk about Tampa Bay at Detroit. Wow. This is a banger. Frankie, what do you got? What do you got for me?
This is an easy pick. Detroit at home.
Why is it an easy pick?
Because Detroit's at home, and they're coming off a bad loss. And, I mean, there's not really too much to narrate about this one, except the fact that Detroit will be at home. They'll have their home fans in front of them. You got Tampa Bay coming in. You got a hyped-up Baker Mayfield, who everyone thinks is the MVP. And I think Baker Mayfield hits a wall this week. I don't think it's going to be a terrible loss, but it's not going to be a win.
I think I'll let Ben go first.
I'm picking Detroit hesitantly. Very, very hesitantly. And if anything, this is the don't bet on this game, stay away from this game, whatever you do in terms of gambling. because I have no clue who's going to win this game. I'm actually more interested in this game than the Vikings game on Sunday because I want to see what this Lions team does off that loss. I want to see what the Bucs do on this roll that they're on with Baker. I'm picking the Lions, but I will not be surprised if Baker Mayfield pulls it out of the bag.
I hate to defect here, but Tampa Bay is 5-1. They took my team toe to toe and put up 38 points on us.
I think Detroit is slightly better than you guys, and I think that'll be the difference.
I don't think that's true on defense.
It's right that, well, defensively, no, but
that's
right
what I'm saying. That's where I'm going with this. They put up 38 on our defense. Even with our injuries, they're going to put up at least 38 on Detroit. So I just don't think Detroit can match that, even though they're a very high scoring team. I'm going to say like 38-35. Same score as Seattle, but I'm going to say Baker, Tampa Bay, takes it home.
I think it's a great Monday night game.
Oh, it's fantastic, but I won't be watching it because I'll be watching Houston at Seattle.
There are 3-hour game difference, 7 and 10 p.m. Eastern time game starts.
That's true. I'm happy about that.
I'm not staying up for that late game.
I will be in Omaha watching this game with my brother. And my brother and my cousin. So that game will get over at midnight, and I'll be getting home at like 3 in the morning. Great. All right. So who do you got, Frankie, in this game? Houston comes to Seattle 2-3, 4-2.
I picked Seattle, but this is going to be my trap game of the week.
Trap game. Okay.
I picked Seattle, but some good things come to an end.
Okay.
I've only got one thing to tell everybody. I don't buy this Texans team at all. I buy Seattle a lot. I think the Seahawks are one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFC right now. And they absolutely should win this game, and I'm picking them to win this game. But would I be surprised if Houston won? No.
If this game was in Houston, I would pick Seattle, no questions asked. Just based on what Mike McDonald has been able to do with this road team. 10-1 since arriving. I think he's lost more home games than he's won. And you guys know this. Seattle used to be like, no one wants to play there.
Yeah, Legion of Boom, the loud stadium.
Whenever the Vikings had to go there, I was like, oh boy, we're going to...
Right. So they're losing a little bit of that edge, and I think that McDonald hates that. I know the players hate it, but they love that stadium and they love that crowd. It's just they got to perform for that to maintain. And I think that they do. I think we're all 3 going to be on Seattle here to win this game on Monday night to close out the week.
It feels like a very competitive game for all of us to be in agreement on.
Now, Frankie, you're probably wondering why we didn't talk about the Bills at all. It's because you and Baltimore
we need a break.
On the bye week.
We need a break.
Good timing for both teams.
The Vikings should have gone on a rest of season bye week because it's over for us.
Baltimore needs to figure out what they're going to, if they have their quarterback healthy. And I just think that the Bills need to settle down. They need to settle down and refocus.
I think Lamar Jackson's going to have to get fit for a new helmet because he smashed it a few times, so that gives him time to break
That's all
it.
of it. I still think, and I told you not to worry last week, if they lose this week, you should be worried because they're not fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So, not quite time to panic yet in Buffalo, but if they take this bye week and then they come back next week in week 8 and lose to Carolina, you're going to be in real trouble.
If we lose to Carolina,
I'd panic.
Ordinary at bet 365. Melissa Lions taking over.
Wow.
Field position open up.
What a great professional show we're running here. That's for the unedited version, guys. There you go.
Go Mariners. That's all I got.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. It really is. I love watching Fox when they're like, this Mariners team is limping in here, stealing 2 games. Like, we don't even belong on the field with Toronto, is what they're basically saying. And it's like, dude, your East Coast bias bullshit it's tired. It's really tired. I can't even watch the broadcast, dude. It drives me so insane. Like, this is something they actually said. Like, I realized that Cal Raleigh had 60 home runs, but I just don't see how he got a hold of that one.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, they're also glazing the hell out of the Dodgers in that NLCS. They're like just talking about how incredible and amazing Dave Roberts is and how the Blue Brewers don't really belong on the same field as the Dodgers. Well, I partially agree with that from a talent perspective.
That part's kind of actually true, but like, I don't know how you could glorify any manager when the payroll is literally $300 million.
Yeah, they could put you on the bench and still win 90 games. I
could literally take a spot in their lineup and they would still be the dominant team to beat.
They're going to win the World Series, by the way. I'm still picking the Dodgers to win the World Series. I love the Mariners, and I think this story is awesome, and I think they have a real chance of beating Toronto. I think they could sweep Toronto. And if you sweep Toronto, then you're in a really good spot, and you have to hope the Brewers can win a couple games against the Dodgers, maybe wear them down a bit. And then we have a very different conversation.
Yeah. All right. That's our show for the week. We can talk.
This was a Loch 22 production. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.